I'm excited to welcome on a top 20 prospect in 2023, Sam Walters. What's going on today, bro?
How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Well, I mean, you've obviously had a pretty busy past few weeks. You've been pulling a lot of offers following your freshman season. I mean, I already have offers from like to Florida, Stenson, Georgetown, LSU. What's it feel like right now?
It felt good. Those are all offers that I've been hoping for since I was younger.
Hmm.
So it felt good that my hard work paid off.
Absolutely. And I mean, another big thing in the past few months since quarantine's hit was the first ESPN rankings. You see yourself in the top 25. What did it feel like just to see your name in there?
Again, that was another one of the dreams of mine that I had playing basketball, and it felt really good because that's what I've wanted to do, and that's what I've been talking with all my coaches about, and it felt good. But it humbled me to make sure I continue to work harder, so I could stay where I'm at and even go up.
Absolutely, man. Let's go back to the offers a little bit. Let's just kind of run down through those first four offers you have right now. Start off with LSU. They're a school that just brought in one of the top 25, top 10 recruiting classes in 2020. They have a lot of flash in the SEC. What do you like about that program?
I like how the coaches they just let them play. I feel like they have a athletic like they have a lot of athletic players, and I feel like they play their players like very versatile, which I feel like that matches my game. So I like that.
And a lot of the schools you have so far produce NBA players, and LSU is obviously one of those as well. We see guys like Ben Simmons. We see a lot of guys that they get to the NBA. When you see a program take top level players and make them NBA players in a year or two, how much more appealing does that make a college?
That to me because my goal is to get to the NBA. So if they already have experience doing that, I feel like that would help me get to that level.
And they also, on the downside, do have some off the court issues they have dealt with. When you see a program like LSU or many other programs out there that might have some stuff off the court, FBI issues or stuff like that, does anything go through your mind when you look at that?
Not really, because I just go off of what my personal experience is with them.
Mhm.
And right now I haven't had anything that's close to that, so I would only go off my personal experience with them.
Gotcha. And another big one is Georgetown, a player's coach in terms of Patrick Ewing has played in the NBA. When you see it and have a coach that either has coached or played in the NBA before, how much more appealing does that appear to you?
That I like that. That's really impressive to me because that'll draw. He'll be able to drop a lot of knowledge to me from the NBA standpoint. And I feel like he'll help. That would help my career. So that's really impressive to me.
And what else do you just like about the program in general?
I like how they have the same thing with LSU, but they have big men in general. A lot of good big men. Even though that's not really my position, I do have some big man skills, and I like how they played Mac McClung this past year. I know he transferred, but they had he was able to bring the ball up. I know he's a shooting guard, which is the same type of position that I play. So I like he was able to run the offense, and I really like that about their program.
That's huge. Another one is Stenson, another great college. What do you like about them?
I like them because they're kind of close to the villages. We have a player that graduated from the villages this year or last year. Uh, I'm sorry, the year before. Terry Ivory. He plays point guard for them, and that's kind of like a family connection. I've known them for a pretty long time, so that's good.
And you said obviously they're kind of close to home, and that's what the final school we're also going to talk about is Florida. But overall, how appealing would it be to you? Is there any kind of priority to possibly stay in Florida, at least somewhere close to Florida for you?
Not really. I mean, I can't say yes or no. I think it's kind of early, but I just think that's kind of cool that it was like I already have a player that I know that's there,
Yeah,
so I can ask him questions about the program.
absolutely. And that's where our last school I want to touch up on is Florida. Their school that's also close to home, a great program once again. What do you like about them?
I like how their coach they give their players freedom to play. Like I saw this past year, they had Trey Mann, which is another player that I know. He played with the Villages. He's actually we train with him a lot at the gym, and it's going to be a good year for him. And I just feel like I just like how the coach plays, and I'm just talking to him. I like how the program does things, how they work out, and all that stuff.
And you talk about a couple different guys now that have gone to the Division 1 level. What kind of impact have those guys had on you in terms of now getting you ready for your recruiting process soon?
It's good because I can just give them a quick text or call, or when I see them in the gym, I can just ask them about recruiting questions, different schools, and like what they did in their process. So it was really good.
You still got another year until recruiting really picks up, where coaches can start calling you and all that. But what's some advice you have gotten now in terms of how to approach this recruiting process when it does come time?
You just got to continue to work. I know for some people, when they have these offers that come, they get a little big head, but nothing's set in stone until you sign the paper. So you just got to continue to work hard. Don't get too big headed, and hear every coach, and don't be too big time for any school.
No doubt. So those are the four schools you currently have announced they have offers from. Are there any schools that you're hearing that might have some interest in you?
I also have an offer from USF as well.
What's your relationship like
I
with
talk.
them?
It's good. I went to their elite camp last year, and it was good. I know the coach. I mean the athletic director there. He just moved to Florida State. That's the guy who recruited me. But I like the coach, Coach Gregory. He's a good coach, and I feel like they're a program that's up and coming and building.
That's something interesting too. I mean, we obviously there's always coaching movements throughout all college basketball. When a coach or a staff member does go to a different school, where does that kind of lead you with the program that originally offered you?
Um, I mean, I had a contact with the other assistant coaches, but it's definitely it gives me more contact with Florida State now as well because he takes some of his contacts with him to Florida State. So
Gotcha. And so, what's some of those schools you're hearing might have some interest in you at this point?
Ohio State as well, and that's about it that I've actually talked to
Mm-hmm.
on the phone.
Gotcha. And so you still got a little while until you really get into this recruiting process. What are some of the things you really want to see though from a college?
I want to see a college that's gonna prepare me for the NBA or the pro level, but my dream is playing the NBA. A college that has experience getting to the tournament and winning, and just like a college that a college and coach that it loves to be in the gym and likes to get their players better because player development is big for me. Because I always love to be in the gym, so that's many of the major things for me.
For you personally, is there maybe an NBA player you kind of model your game after, or even you just see yourself maybe turning into down the road?
I watch Kevin Durant because he's a player. I know a lot of people say that, but he's a player who's 6'10" plus, can stretch the floor, put it on the ground, play the two through the five, and that's what I try to model my game after is him, and then Jonathan Isaac as well.
Okay. Is the Orlando Magic one of your favorite teams?
Yes, sir, because that's the hometown team. So
Absolutely. And you did mention earlier, I mean, you are a taller guard and you kind of want to run a shooting guard type position. What's it like kind of being a taller guard? I mean, I believe you're 6'6", 6'7", range, 6'8". What's it like kind of running being a taller guard?
um, it it's good. I feel like it gives me an advantage because I could take smaller guards on the post, or if I have a big man guarding me, I could take him out to the wing. So I try to be the most versatile player on the court. That's what I've always worked for. So I could just take the smaller guards to the paint, and I feel like it gives me a big advantage as being else.
And that is more the modern day guards. I mean, guys are 6'6" and plus that run shooting guard. And I know growing up, I can imagine a lot of coaches wanted you running the post a lot. When did you kind of click that you realized you could still be your height and still run the guard positions?
So I was in fifth grade. I played for a coach. Chucky Atkins says he was an NBA player. His dad was my coach in elementary school, and he used to bring me out to the wing, like when we would go train, because that's who I used to train with, and I played for his team. And he would bring me out and he would see like I had coordination from a young age, so he just brought me out to the wing and developed my wing skills, and that's from there I just wanted to be a wing.
That's big time. And I can imagine you wanted to prove something to a lot of people this year playing AAU. We know because of COVID, that's not the case for a lot of things, but you were going to run Night Riders. Why did you choose them?
I just felt like for my last year for eighth grade when I played with them. I really like Coach Booby, Coach Kino. They really pushed me, and I can have a game where I had 20 points and 10 rebounds, but they can still say, "Oh, you didn't play any defense, or you didn't do this, so that wasn't a good game." So I just feel like they're not people that are just going to tell me what I want to hear. The people that's going to help me out and help me get to the next level.
What would you say you wanted to prove to people if you had an AAU season?
I would say defense, being able to guard all five positions,
Mhm.
and then also sometimes running because I've never ran really the one, so I wanted to run the one sometimes some sets as well. So and those two things.
What are you hearing? I mean, do you think there's going to be an AAU season this year for you guys, or what are you kind of hearing it's going to look like?
I don't know. We don't have any tournaments scheduled, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so, if I'm going to be honest, but I'm not sure.
Gotcha. And we go back a year ago before COVID, obviously, you were playing the CP3 Rising Stars tournament, one of the most elite things for a guy going to high school you can be in. What was it like to be a part of that camp?
It was fun because I got to see players that I've played with since I was younger, play against the top competition in the country, and just really just have fun the whole weekend. I got to learn from other good AAU coaches around the nation, and got to show my talent.
There is one other thing we have to touch up on as well, and that's what's in your bio. I mean, you have a giraffe. Explain the reasoning behind that.
So when I was younger, I've always my favorite animal is always a giraffe. My mom, she always used to say like I ran like a giraffe, just like my running form. Cause you see how like giraffes run, so that's why I like it. I just always like giraffe, tall. That's basically where I got it. So I just always like call myself giraffe and stuff.
Has anyone else started picking up on that? Have coaches or anyone called you giraffe yet?
Like my high school coaches, they'll say some stuff with giraffe, but not really. Like they don't have like a nickname for a giraffe, but they'll just say giraffe sometimes, stuff like that.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your high school season. 21-7 record. Pretty solid season for you overall for your first year. What's your takeaways from the year?
I learned a lot my first year. We had a lot of seniors on our team,
Mhm.
so I got to learn from them and really preparing me to for next year for where it's more my team. Not I'm not saying my team, but like where I get to carry the load a little bit more on offense and be more of a leader. So I learned a lot. Learned the defensive sets, and I feel like our practices are more like college practices. So I feel like that prepared me for college.
And you mentioned there's obviously a lot of college level prospects on your team. What was it like getting used to high school level and having to go against some of the top players day in, day out?
It was good. I felt like it got me better. We have some D1 players on our team. Actually, a D1 player, and then some players that I think should be D1 that are going JUCO right now. But it was good because I felt like it really got me better. What I was hoping to do was when I came back to AU, it would help me propel me over some of the other players because I got to play against some high level players.
As you said, some of those guys have now moved on to the next level for them. You're going to have a larger role next year. What do you kind of expect for your numbers? What do you kind of expect your averages to be for next season?
I'm not sure. What my goal is I want to have a double double, um, but I don't really know exactly what my points and rebounds will be. But that's what my goal is to have our team win first off, and then have a double double and make the right basketball play because that's really an important thing if our team's going to win. And colleges, like they look at that and they think that's good.
And being in Florida, I can imagine some of the big prep schools that started reaching out to you. Is possibly going where you play a national schedule or going to a school like an IMG, Montverde, or schools out of state as well. Is that something you might consider someday down the road?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure yet. I still have this season to play, but I've always wanted to play on a national level, so you never know what will happen down the road.
Absolutely. And as I said, you are in Florida. What's it like playing out there? I mean, it's one of the top states. How do you like playing in Florida?
I like it a lot. I feel like the competition's really good.
Mhm.
There's a lot of good high schools in Florida, and it's really competitive. I feel like Florida, to me, it might be a little biased, but I feel like it's the best state for basketball just because we have a lot of length in Florida, as a lot of people know. I just feel like we get after it a lot, so I think we have a lot of talent in Florida.
Who would you say was the best player, the hardest player you had to go up against this past year?
The best player, I would say, I'm not sure if I know the best player, but the hardest team was we played against Eastside. That's a team we eventually lost to, and they have some good players on their team. And I feel like they were hard to guard. They were a really aggressive team.
Without doubt. And I mean, one of the last things before I let you go is you have a lot of stuff to want to accomplish. I can imagine you want to build a legacy for yourself. By the time you walk away from the game of basketball, what do you want that legacy to be?
I want my legacy to be I was a hard worker. I was a team player, And I also why not shoot for the stars? I want to be known as one of the better players to play the game. That's always been my goal. Like, well, if you're doing something, why don't you want to be the best at it? So that's really what I want to be.
Absolutely, man. Well, I'm definitely excited to see what God's got next for you, man. Best of luck next season. Of
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
course, man. You always welcome on, bro. God bless.
Thank you.